y'all. I'm Obscure Girl. I like movies. I like weird movies. I like weird, trippy, obscure movies that I feel like no one has seen or is talking about. Whether that be because the marketing was so bad, or because it's just old, or because you're like, I think that was a fever dream I had when I was 5. I'm here to tell you, it wasn't. Let's talk about it. It's the holiday season, and yes, I'm going to talk about more Christmas classics. We are going to be talking about another one that was on my holiday watch list. See video. Jingle Jangle.
No matter what you do, the magic lives inside of you.
This is a movie that was absolutely a victim of the Netflix marketing famine, let's just say. Because Netflix does not know how to market anything that's not Wednesday or Stranger Things. Oh my god. So, this was a fantastic Christmas movie that I've been pushing on absolutely everyone I know because it's amazing and it deserves some credit. It's a musical with some amazing, amazing music. The cast is sensational. You've got Forrest Whitaker, Anika Noni Rose, Felicia Rashad, Keegan Michael Key, and Ricky Martin. Already, oh my god. This is a story, non spoiler premise, of an inventor and toy maker with serious promise who gets screwed over by his trusted apprentice and his life kind of falls apart. And then years later, his granddaughter, who shows the same intuitive spark that he once had, comes to see him and kind of try and find out why she is the way she is. And a lot of amazing music and sights and events happen. There is action, there are explosions, there is choreography that will rival Descendants. Like, this is a great movie. We're going to talk about it. Buckle in. Full spoilers ahead. From this point forward, you've been warned. So we start out in this gorgeous parlor where a little brother and sister are sitting in front of the flames in the fireplace. It's not on fire. There's a fireplace. It's Christmas. And the little girl is seeing dancing figures in the flames, which the brother can't see. Then in walks the grandmother, which is Felicia Rashad, Mrs. Cosby. She might want to be known for other things now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, absolutely fabulous and regal grace exuding from her as always. And she's their grandma, and she's coming to read them the night before Christmas story. And of course, the brother's like, hey, can we read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas? And she notices that her granddaughter is seeing things in the flames and goes, you know what? I think it's time for a different story. And she pulls out the story of Dronacus Jangle. And this is really cool. The cinematography, again, there's so many beautiful images in this movie. And one of them, it's very steampunk also. Like, this movie is Christmas steampunk. So already, that's already making you think like, oh my god, crazy pretty things. So this book is all like gears and, puppets, basically. And it's telling the story of Dronacus Jangle, who was this amazing inventor. He was absolutely brilliant. He could make magic happen. Seriously, he could make magic happen. And he had this shop called Jingles and Things. He had a beautiful wife, a fantastic daughter, and basically, like, the world was at his fingertips. And you see him, the opening song, because this is a musical, and again, the songs slap hard and the choreography goes the extra mile. It's really cool. So you see him basically as he's getting the final ingredient for his new master design, to the point where he's told everyone in the shop, everything's free. Take whatever you want. This is going to make me rich. And his apprentice, his most trusted apprentice, Gustafson, who's like this teenage boy who you can tell absolutely wants to be just like Dronacus. He has this own invention of his own called the Twirly Whirly that isn't exactly finished yet. It keeps, kind of glitching out. And he's trying to get Dronacus's attention so he can, help him fix his invention. And he's like, well, did you do this and this yet? Like I told you to do with it, and then I'll jump in for the rest. And he's like, well, no, I didn't do that yet. He's like, well, as soon as you do that, I'll help you, man. And he goes off to finish this invention, which turns out to be a matador doll that he gives sentient life to. So, and this doll, by the way, is voiced by Ricky Martin. You're gonna think it's Antonio Banderas. It's not. It's Ricky Martin, which is also pretty cool. Like, okay, I love that Ricky Martin's still doing things. I'm a 90s girl. So, Geronicus and his family are just like, oh my god, you did it. This is going to change our whole lives. And as soon as we mass market this guy, and the Matador does not like that. He's like, wait, there can only be one of me. I'm special. I'm spectacular. I'm amazing. Hello. Hi. Over here. There's just one of me, right? And so the family goes off to celebrate Christmas, leaving Gustafson in charge of our new guest, who then is immediately getting his hooks into Gustafson, saying, you know, you could be the big shot inventor if you just take his designs and me and claim them as your own. It's not stealing, it's borrowing indefinitely. And he has this whole really skeezy, awesome villain song about borrowing indefinitely. When you borrow indefinitely. Next thing Geronicus knows, all of his designs, plans, and the Matador and his apprentice are all gone. Then you kind of see back in the book perspective, when they're all puppets again and stuff, that the years after that were not kind. The police did not believe Geronicus. He had no proof that Gustafson was using his designs. And so he just kind of lost that spark. Because you could see at the beginning, he could see, like, he was doing equations in the air and he could see all of this magic around him. Like, he could see the equations midair as he was doing that. He lost that. And then also, his wife passes away. And after all of that, like, he ends up really disconnecting from his daughter. He's just so depressed and he kind of sends her away. And so he has nothing. And the years go by, it's like a couple decades later. Jangles and Things is now a pawn shop where he kind of does some repairs for other people's things, but it's mostly just a pawn shop, and he'll really stress that. And Gustafson has become this gigantic big shot, toy maker of the year, 28 years running. So, total big shot. He has this gigantic factory in like the far end of town, and Geronicus is just this sad old man who turns into Forrest Whitaker. Cut to some other town far away. You see Geronicus's granddaughter, Journey, who is this like probably like 10, 11-year-old girl. And she wants to stay inside and invent things. She's very, very much just like her grandfather was. She is building things, and that's just all she really wants to do. And doesn't really understand why she's so different and why she doesn't really have friends, because she'd rather be inside than go out and play. So she kind of manipulates the situation to where she gets to go stay with her grandpa until Christmas. She wanted to for years, and her mom's like, "We'll go if we're invited." So Journey's like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna make this happen," and she forges an invitation for herself to go. So she ends up going. Geronicus has no idea she's going to be there. He doesn't even really know what his granddaughter's name is. He's just this defeated man who just found out that his whole place is about to be foreclosed on unless he can come up with something magnificent, something revolutionary. Also, there's a male lady that's in love with him that comes with her own backup dancers. We'll get there. So Journey ends up basically kind of forcing herself onto Geronicus. She's like, "Yep, Grandpa Jay, I'm here until Christmas. Cool, cool. Where am I staying?" And she sees the place and she's like, "All right, he's not everything that we thought he was going to be, but this place is. And I'm going to find out all the potential, and I'm going to find out my own potential." And she sings the coolest song called "The Square Root of Impossible." And she's just so cool, and the song's awesome, and I love it so much. And this song is probably, for me, it's the heart of the movie. It is just this little girl basically like finding out, like, you know what, I am awesome, and I'm going to continue to be awesome, and I'm going to change the world. Meanwhile, Geronicus is like kind of annoyed that she's there, but is also kind of really impressed by her, because she can do the thing with the equations in the air like he used to be able to. And she can understand his crazy equations, like the circumference of the spectacular. And okay, that looks like it would be the square root of possible, but, and then finds out it's the square root of impossible. And song, yeah, all that cool stuff. But Veronicus is definitely very hesitant towards her and definitely has, keeping her at arm's length. There is a funny part where she's like trying to be like, "Hey, can we do this? Can we do this?" He's like, "I can't hear you because you're not doing your chores right now. There's some sweeping and boxes that need to be packed." And she's like, "But Grandpa, sweeping, but Grandpa Jay, chores." Like, I don't know, it cracks me up every time. Andronicus now has a new apprentice, a boy Journey's age named Edison, who is just obsessed with the legend of Andronicus Jangles and thinks he's the greatest inventor in the world and wants to be just like him. And Andronicus is just like, "You're helping me sweep the place. Like, we don't invent things. This is just a pawn shop." But then Journey and Edison go up to his old inventor's like studio in the attic, and they find he had built one of her mom's designs. So Veronicus's daughter had designed the Buddy 3000, and he's just been sitting there under a cloth for years and years and years because Veronicus didn't think it worked. And as soon as Journey and Edison get in there and they turn him on, they find out he does work. He just runs on belief. So he wouldn't work for Veronicus because he lost that. But Buddy's amazing. First of all, he's adorable. He's just this tiny little steampunk gold robot. And he is immediately like just super cute, has his adorable voice. And oh, yeah, he can fly and he can make everyone around him fly. He's also another sentient invention, by the way. He has his own personality and thoughts and stuff. So it's just adorable and really, really cool. And we love Buddy. We love Buddy. Meanwhile, other side of town, we have Gustafson, and he has grown into Keegan Michael Key. Now, like I said, he has been Toy Maker of the Year 28 years running. He's a big shot. However, he's run out of Veronicus's inventions to steal. So he tries going back to his original invention, the Twirly Whirly, which he still hasn't figured out all the bugs on. So he goes for one of his big pitch meetings with all these adoring fans that are ready to just mass market all of his toys. And this one kind of like tries to eat people's faces and sets them on fire and like, spins up someone's beard. And yeah, kind of a big blow for him. So you see that basically this whole time, the Matador doll has been the one actually calling the shots. And he's the one who Gustafson is very, very submissive to him. The Matador like smacks him around constantly and calls him an idiot all the time. And he's like, "I told you we should have gone back to Veronicus's place and see if we can find anything new." And Gustafson's like, "I'm an inventor too. I can make this stuff happen too. Like, I don't need his stuff." And the Matador's like, "Oh yeah, how'd that work out for you? Get in your telescope and find out what is going on over at Jangles and Things." So of course, he looks in the telescope just as Journey and Edison and Buddy are flying through this attic, and it gets very like Slugworth, Slugworth and Wonka kind of vibes at this point. Because then Gustafson ends up going over by Jangles and Things as Journey's kind of sitting outside. And she's like, "I know who you are. What do you want?" And he's like, "If I know anything about your grandpa, I know there's something spectacular going on in there." And she's like, "Yeah, it's just a pawn shop." So the next day, things with Journey and her grandpa are starting to kind of, they're starting to bond a little bit more. They're starting to loosen up a little bit. Even though Jangles and Things is about to be closed, he's trying to get rid of all of his stock. He's just trying to close down and save whatever he can still. I should say, but not before Forrest Whitaker has an amazing, amazing, heart wrenching song, basically singing about like my life was supposed to be more than this. Like I had it all. What happened? Oh, song gets me every time. It's so good. But so he's like, "Yeah, no, we're done. I'm closing things up." And Journey and him end up going out into like the market to get boxes or something. And Journey basically starts a big old snowball fight with Veronicus, who then goes to like the closest like dirty window and he's like putting in all these equations and stuff. And he's like, "Okay." And he finds a way to get like four snowballs to like kind of do this and then all hit her. So they're basically using like geometry and magic math to try and like have this really scientific snowball fight, which turns into this cute, like all the kids in town are, dancing along and they're like kind of facing off, dance battle style with snowballs. There's a really funny scene where Dronicus misses Journey but hits a white policeman like straight in the face, and he's just like, it's really funny. Meanwhile, when all this is happening, though, Gustafson goes back to Jangles and things as Edison is sweeping up the shop. And he ends up finding out about Buddy, kidnaps Buddy and the plans for Buddy, and ties up Edison in the attic. Journey and Edison are like, we have to get Buddy back, we have to go save him. So they sneak in the mailwoman's mail truck to get to Gustafson's workshop as he is, without even testing it, trying to pitch the Buddy 3000. Which isn't going to work because all of his followers stopped believing in him, stopped believing that he could do this after his failed attempt at his last toy pitch. And so Buddy just doesn't do anything because there's no one believing in the room. And Gustafson, again, was an idiot who didn't even test it. And even the Matador's like, you idiot, why didn't you test it first? So Gustafson's like, put it where we put all failed toy attempts. Retail? No, the Crusher. So they're going to destroy Buddy. Journey and Edison end up sneaking in, trying to get Buddy back. Gustafson's like, yeah, it's a failed invention. Like, they can take it. I don't even care. And the Matador's like, if it's a failed invention, why do they want it, you idiot? So then, Gustafson's like, oh, God, go get him, go get him. Meanwhile, Dronicus has followed them to Gustafson's workshop. Obviously doesn't want to be there. He has the mail lady kind of take him back and everything. So Journey and Edison had gotten in through this giant vent that has like this crazy like blade propeller fan or whatever that wasn't going when they went in, but it sure as heck is going when they're trying to get out. And Geronicus is like just wanting to get his granddaughter and his apprentice back and just trying to get them out safely and everything. He's like, okay, go around. And of course, everything's on fire. Because of course, something had to be on fire. So Dronicus finally like gets his mojo back, and he's able to do like the equations in the air to tell them exactly how fast and at what angle they can possibly get through these propellers without dying. And so there's a scene where they're riding on the crate where Buddy's in, and they kind of make like a rope steering situation. It's on wheels, and they're going through this giant tunnel with fire behind them, like coming at them, and going through blades and propellers, and it's super cute. And Journey and Dronicus say that they love each other, and it's so adorable. And they make it out by literally like a blade almost hitting her hair, and it's super super cute. And now Dronicus has his groove back. However, Buddy was damaged in the escape. He tried to like slow them down, and his mechanical arms literally like got kind of fried, and so he wasn't really waking up. So they get back to Jangles and things, and Dronicus and Journey have like a super adorable moment. Edison and Journey have a super adorable moment where Edison's like, Journey, I really like you a lot. So cute. So cute. And then Dronicus is like, listen, I will try my best to get Buddy fixed by morning, Christmas morning. Journey, go to bed. There's also a super cute scene with Dronicus and the mail lady because he's like kind of got that spring back in his step, and he wants to thank her for helping him save his granddaughter and his apprentice. And so he does like a little like cute little mistletoe thing, and she like can't even talk. She just starts singing. It's really cute. She's like, like it's really cute. And her backup dancers are just like off in the corner or whatever. And I should point out with her backup dancers, Dronicus is like, backup dancers? Like, do they go with you everywhere? What? So at this point, he's like, they are a group. Really cute, really funny. Meanwhile, Jessica, Geronicus's daughter, played by Anika Nani Rose. Yes, Princess Tiana. So she's got some pipes and she's about to use them. Sings a song about trying to make things work again as she's on her way back to her dad's to pick up Journey for Christmas. And there's awesome choreography, and it's just this really angsty song. And Veronica's singing about trying to make Buddy work again, and Jessica's trying to sing about trying to make her relationship with her dad work again, but she doesn't really think it's gonna work. So she gets back there and it's like, yep, no, I'm just gonna take Journey early. Thanks for taking her and everything. And he's like, wait. And she's like, you could have written me. You could have done anything but make me think I was the reason that things fell apart. And he opens up a drawer and hundreds of letters come pouring out because he had written her so many times but just didn't have the words. There's actually a really cute part where when the grandma's reading the story, she's like, he wrote it down so many times, but I guess I'm sorry hadn't been invented yet.
And figure out the words. I suppose I'm sorry hadn't quite been invented yet.
And he apologizes to Jessica right then and there and tells her just how much he misses her and how much he loves Journey and wants to be part of their lives again. He's like, can I be there for Journey like I should have been there for you? And it's really sweet. So then she helps him with, fixing up her invention, which is the Buddy 3000, and they get it to work by Christmas morning again, just in time for Gustafson to show up with the police, saying that they had stolen his invention, the Buddy 3000. And, well, how else would I, be able to prove that it's my invention? But I have the plans right here. He goes, I have the plans right here in black and white. And Journey goes, yeah, and in blue. Because earlier on, Geronicus had made Journey sign a contract saying she would not take, break, touch, move, or anything in Jingles and Things. Clearly learned his lesson after the Gustafson thing. But she signed in invisible ink. So, right after Gustafson had shown up asking Journey about Buddy, she went in and she signed in invisible ink on the plans for Buddy, property of Geronicus Jangle. So then the police are really confused. And the Matador, who is there for some reason, because everyone's just okay with the sentient toy that bosses around the guy who owns all the buildings. Whatever. He's like, oh, Geronicus, my family, I missed you so much. I can't believe you would steal. He stole me. I missed you so much. And Geronicus is like, yeah, no, thanks for corroborating my story. Glad to have you back. You are my invention. Right after I reprogram you. And he basically, turns off the doll. So the Matador has been put in his place. And Gustafson is now outed as the thief that he was. Meanwhile, there's the scene right here that always, when I think about this movie, I think about two things really. I think about the Square Root of Impossible song, and I think about this scene where Geronicus goes to his desk and he pulls out this old box because he had built the missing thing for Gustafson's Twirly Whirly way back in the day. And he's like, I would have shown you everything if you just waited. And it's just this gut punch because you see Gustafson knows he screwed over a good man and he kind of ruined both of their lives because he was impatient. And it just gets me every time, man, because his face shows everything. I did this to both of us. Oh my god. So then Geronicus ends up getting everything Gustafson stolen from him, so he now has that factory and makes it even bigger, and he and his daughter and granddaughter go on inventing things until they have a toy empire, basically. And we go back to Grandma and her two grandkids in front of the fire with their book. They're all just like, oh my gosh, that was so cool, so glad that happened. What happened to all of them? What happened to Journey? And Grandma ends up moving one of her braids to show that she has all the cogs and gears in her hair, just like Journey, because Grandma is Journey. And this was her way of telling her grandkids where their family came from. And it's so cute. It's so cute. And she goes, asks her grandson, can you see them dancing now? And the granddaughter's like, you could see them too? And she's like, did you really think you were the only one in this family who could see things? All right, buddy, I think it's time for a little visit. So Buddy 3000 comes out from the corner and he's like, Journey. And so cute. And they end up flying via Buddy to their toy factory to give it a visit the night before Christmas. And it's beautiful and it's magical. And they do a little reprise with the square root of impossible. And it's so beautiful. And this movie is great. And people need to watch it, okay? Just like, please watch it. It is so good. So that was Jingle Jangle. Now that I'm calm, that was Jingle Jangle. I really hope you do watch it. I really, really do. It's on Netflix right there for you to see. It is a fantastic family movie to check out. Again, if you were a fan of musicals at all, oh my god, definitely give this one a watch. It's just the vibe and the energy, and again, it's just these beautiful, beautiful cinematography, choreography. The cast is so great. The score is mwah. Check this out. Also, for other movies that were on my Christmas watch list, please check out my Christmas watch list. It's all movies that I mostly have not seen on any other real watch lists for the most part. And so, just things if you're sick of watching the same couple movies over and over again every year, here's something new for you to check out, like this movie. Also, if you liked this video, please like this video. It would help me out so much. Also, subscribing to this channel would be such a huge help for me. Sharing it out to your friends if they think they want to see a crazy goth chick, ranting about musicals and stuff. That would be fabulous too. Um, yeah. Oh, and check me out on Patreon. Why do I keep forgetting that one? Check me out on Patreon. My patrons will end up getting like input on what videos I do. They get shouts out on this channel. Check it out. I've been Obscure Girl, and the rest is confetti.